Hi guys, welcome back to another video. No points for guessing where we are. Back with Omar for another session. We're going at it twice this week. And I feel kind of rude, I haven't really properly introduced Omar. So Omar, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Like I said, man, I'm camera shy.
He's camera shy. At least tell him what position you play.
I'm a center midi.
He's a center midi. He's definitely a very good center midi. He's one of those players that is very good at judging the tempo, knows when to slow the game down, knows when to speed it up, very good control of the ball. A key player on your team. I love playing with Omar. As an attacking player, he's the kind of guy that's feeding me the balls that I need to get in and help the team score a goal. So played in college up in Buffalo, Alfred, and so he's played in college and he does a lot of coaching sessions here in Rochester. I think I've mentioned that before. So he's played at a good level, he's had some good experience, and his biggest passion is kind of passing on everything he's learned onto younger players, helping them develop. So he's actually going to be running the full session today. He's going to come up with some really good drills. I'm sure they'll be based around probably the fundamentals, passing, receiving and stuff like that. We always work on this kind of thing when we're together because that's the absolute salt of football. It's the bread and butter. You need these skills and you can never get too good at them. But as you guys know, we always start our sessions with a good, thorough warm-up. So let's go. So as I promised, I'm always going to show you a little bit of our warm-up, and this is just a great chance to not only warm up physically, which is so important, even if you think you're having a light training session, always warm up the body first to avoid injury, but it also lets us chat about the session, what we're going to get out of it. So not only do we get to prepare physically, but prepare mentally as well. Alright, so first drill, first technical warm-up drill, what we're doing, Omar?
Alright, I call it the technical box. We're going to be moving pretty quick while playing one-touch balls out of the box. That's pretty much it. You can see it when we do it. It's really hard to explain because it's so simple. But we'll go from there. We have a coach right there. Alright, and we're just receiving the ball one time, warming up. After I say go, we go to the side and we're here.
Okay.
Right? Right? And then after I say go, now we're all one touch.
Okay.
All one touch. Yep.
So as Omar explained, we're just going to be using this box, which Omar calls the technical box, to do a lot of our drills today. There's going to be a few varieties, so make sure you're paying attention and write these down if you do want to try these out with one of your teammates. Really good drills. We've got a really good session in today. So all we're doing to start with to warm up is just checking from side to side, getting into the middle of that box, returning one-touch passes left and right foot. Then after a while we added a bit more of a dynamic movement in, so shuffling around those cones diagonally out in front of us, so just adding another movement in as well. So a little bit to think about now because we're checking to the side for one rep, get back to the middle, then the next time we check around those front cones. So you should be starting to get a bit warmer by this point, so keep working with it. And now we're working on those back cones as well. So having to think even more, checking from side to side, then going around those back cones, back to the side, to the middle. So then we changed it up, so we're going from side to side, back to the middle, then around those cones, but this time adding a side volley in. So as you can see, we're using all of those footwork patterns that we worked on with the first drill, but now adding an aerial touch in there as well. So really technical stuff, just trying to make sure we're accurate with those touches while staying light on our feet. If we have good balance, we're able to get back to the middle nice and quickly and set our feet. We're going to have better quality in that first touch when popping it back to our partner. Then we moved into some directional first touch, so all he's doing is playing that ball into me nice and easy, and I'm using the inside of my foot to push it in front of those cones, go around it and return the ball with the same foot. So we work both around those front cones and then around the back cones, and then we did the exact same thing with the outside of the foot as well. So just making sure we're keeping those touches close to our body. If we take a bad touch, it's just going to get away from us. So it's just something to think about, trying to work on the quality of that touch. Nice, soft, damp touch, so we can move it around the outside of those cones, and then returning it with the opposite foot. Then we moved into an aerial touch, but this time getting the ball on the ground. So instead of returning it back to your partner, you're actually going to take it around those cones, just like we did in the previous drill, but this time receiving it from the air. So just taking the touch around those cones, returning it once we get back into the middle of the square. This was a little bit more difficult. You don't have much room to work with whatsoever, so you got to make sure you keep those touches really close to the body. And then we moved into some more directional first touch, This time he's just playing one touch passes, so you've got to get back to the middle of the square quickly because that ball's coming in a little bit faster this time. Then you're taking your touch to the outside of those cones and then returning it. So you're only allowed 2 touches and you're trying to move it with one foot, shift it to the other and return it as quickly as possible. And the final exercise in the technical drill is a little bit more challenging, so Omar's adding a bit of an audible command now. So what he's doing is calling out either 1 or 2. If he says 1, I've got to take my touch between the cones and return it to him. And if he says 2, I've got to back it up, take my touch behind those furthest cones away and then return it to him. So I've got to listen to his command. He was calling them late on purpose to make sure I have to react. Then we moved into a little bit of an agility drill with a passing element to it. So all we're doing is shuffling in and out of these lines of cones and then going to the other side and then each time returning the ball. So on the first time through, I was returning the ball all with the left foot, and then on the second time through, all with the right foot. So then we went through it one more time. So this time going up, returning with the right foot on the way up. Then as you can see, after quick shuffles in and out, moving on to the other side and then returning with the left foot. These quick checking in and out movements are perfect for central midfielders, just creating that extra yard of space to give you more time on the ball. Then the next time through, we went over the cones, so quick feet movements, 2 foot in each gap between those cones, shuffling backwards and forwards and then returning a half volley. So as you can see, Omar's allowing the ball to bounce just in front of me, so I have to pop it back up just as it hits the ground. So this one's a bit more challenging, a bit more to think about, because not only you've got to coordinate your feet in between those cones, but you've got to get your balance set up so you can return that half volley as well. Then we moved into a small dribbling exercise using the same cone setup again, this time having to keep the ball really tight, moving it laterally from side to side using the outside of our feet. So we shuffle it one way with one foot, put our foot on top of the ball, then return it in the opposite direction. Then once we get to the end of the cones, we go back in the opposite direction once again. Then Omar wanted to add a bit more of a challenge to it, so what we're doing is adding a resistance band. So first time through, just shuffling backwards and forwards without the ball, so you'll feel a lot of difference between this one if you can get a hold of these resistance bands. Just feels like someone's tugging on your shirt, so you have to work extra hard. Then we did the exact same dribbling exercise once again, so using the outside of our foot, taking small touches to move the ball laterally between those cones, but this time incorporating the resistance band as well. So the band just puts you slightly off balance and makes it feel like someone's tugging on your shirt, which will happen during a match. So if you can keep close control of the ball, even with this resistance, it's just going to benefit you when it comes to a match situation. Then we removed the band and did the exercise one more time, and when you remove the resistance band, you feel a lot more free, so you can take a lot sharper touches and move more efficiently through the cones. If you don't have one of these resistance bands, you can just wear a baggy t-shirt and get a partner to hold one side of the shirt as you're moving through to add resistance. Right, so loads of really tight, short, sharp work there. Perfect central midfielders drill, really keeping the ball tight, working in those small spaces, because that's what's going to happen as a centre midi. You're usually in between clusters of defenders, so you need to have good control of the ball. We added a bit of pressure in with the resistance band, so even more intensity to the work. Even though it's very short drills, those are really burners for the calves, for the leg muscles, so really good. But now we're getting into some shooting, so obviously I'm very excited about that. One of my favourite things to work on. So Omar, what we got for the shooting?
All right, again, more work on the core. We'll start off with the resistance band on our waist. We're gonna do 3 each side, so we're gonna go as quick as we can here. Boom, boom, boom. Slow it down, you're out here, you explode. Slow it down, you're gonna do 6 of these. All right, now I'm gonna let you go. Now we're here. Okay, we're just going simple. Boom, 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 boom. Going that far.
Love it. So this drill was really good. We managed to incorporate multiple different things in this one exercise that are really going to be beneficial for the game. So we're just shuffling backwards and forwards, driving those arms, small sharp steps, and then we remove that resistance band, accelerate forward, obtain the ball through those cones nice and sharp, and then get a shot off. And it's a lot harder than it looks, especially after you've been doing this resistance work at the beginning. Really makes those legs burn, so that when you accelerate away, it feels a little bit odd at first, but you have to adjust to it and keep control of the ball through those really tight gaps. We put those cones really close together, maybe just a ball's width apart, so you have to be very precise with your touches. You can't go through them at speed, otherwise you're going to knock the cones over. So just short, sharp, angled touches, and then get that shot off at the end. So we went through this drill 5 times, which was a real burner in the end.
One more. Go. don't even matter. There's no key for that stopping that.
So what we're working on now, Omar?
All right. We're gonna imagine we're playing one, a give and go right at the top of the box, right? We'll start off here. We'll go in, quick feet, right? One touch back. We're here, quick cut, and just hit. That's it.
Cool. So following the theme of this training session, we worked on some more fast feet followed by some one-touch passing. So another great one for central midfielders, just shuffling in and out, creating that extra yard of space, being nice and balanced and light on our feet. One-touch passing, good quality in the passage, just popping it back to our partner. And then on the third pass, we turn on the ball and finish into the goal. So really good drill, incorporating a couple of different things and trying to stay quality with our technical work as well. You're going to get tired shuffling between these cones, but if you can be tired in a match and still be able to perform technically under fatigue, you're going to be a much more effective player. And finally, we worked on a finishing activity that incorporates a very difficult type of first touch. But if you can have this one in your locker, especially for you strikers out there, you're going to be able to get more goal scoring opportunities. So you're taking the ball over your shoulders. So as you can see, starting at these cones, shuffling around to lose your marker, then driving through, the ball comes over the shoulder. That touch was good, but the finish was off. I just lashed at that one, as you can see. But just taking that touch over the shoulder and then finishing, trying to be with your second or third touch. If you can take the ball over the shoulder and run past your opponents, still remain control of that ball, you're going to be able to get in goal. This is the classic Van Persie. A lot of Dutch players do this type of first touch and it gives them the chance to score. So really good exercise. So session's done, but once again a really good session with Omar. We've been working for maybe just an hour and I'm absolutely dying out here. My calves are burning. Such short, sharp work, loads of things that are going to translate into the match situation, so I'm going to be very sharp when it comes to my next match. So Omar, thanks again. This will not be the last time you see Omar. We're going to get together regularly, put a lot of sessions in as well. If you did enjoy today's video and you do want to see more videos like this, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video.